Good afternoon, everybody out there in TikTok land. Rogue Guy here. Figured I'd try a different time on a Sunday. It's the Sunday nights don't seem to be quite as popping as they used to be, so figured I'd try today. So we can talk about next week. This last week, not too bad, not terrible. Right now it says 0 people are on there, so we're gonna kind of delay talking about anything important because there's nobody on here yet. So, more viewers know that you're live. Okay, great. Well, we will see. It's a Sunday. It is 12 o'clock on the Pacific Coast time. So, yeah, I just wanted to chat about a couple of things as far as this week coming up. Actually, not a very thrilling week, but there's definitely some things going on in the world right now that you need to keep in the back of your mind when it comes to your trading. Okay, a couple of things. One of the main ones, obviously, being Israel and Iran fighting. So in your mind, who do you think is going to see the money from that? War is obviously a horrible thing, right? Well, it is, but can you make money at it? Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people make a lot of money at war. War is a very profitable thing, unfortunately. As sick and twisted as that is, it's the truth, and we're here to make money. We're not here to be nice with everybody, right? So, fact is fact. You got different, companies that will profit off of a war between Iran and Israel. So, defense contractors, obviously, BlackRock, some of the ETFs that I talk about a lot. The Global X Defense ETF. I think that'll probably be one that's going to probably get pretty lit here pretty soon, if they go to a full-scale war. Because it's no longer a sound of if we're going to take part, if America is going to actually take part. I think that that it's going to happen. I don't think it's an if. I think it's a when. It will happen eventually. Okay, just the way it is. Just the way life works. So. Anyway, so yeah, Trump's victory paid what? Was the victory parade? President Trump is our president. Okay, whatever the hell that means. I already know he's the president. And it was an embarrassment to our country because we're not a dictatorship and he's not a king. But anyway, another one that you really want to pay attention to is the oil stocks. Okay, I don't know if you heard the news. If you've been listening, you need to, because things like that. I know a lot of people they watch the news and they say, okay, oil's up, or gas is up rather. Gas prices are up. Oh shit, gas prices are up. Why don't you decide to make money on that instead of complaining about it? No president, period, has ever made any difference as far as gas prices go. It is what it is. It's just not going to happen. Okay, Trump, Obama, Bush, Biden, they've all had, they've had reserves, and they've tried to, they're gonna, release some reserves and this and that. It's crazy. There's nobody, no American president that's ever been able to move the needle when it comes to gas prices. That's just a fact of life. Okay, so OPEC, the big greedy guys, Exxon, Mobil, those are the guys that move the needle. Those are the guys that decide, big greedy guys overseas. Well, right now, some of those oil fields overseas are on fire. They've been bombed during this Israel-Iran conflict. So then myself, I bought into an oil ETF. Okay, I bought into, the ticker symbol is USO. USO is the ticker that I bought into. And it's just it's just an oil ETF. It's got some different things on there, and it's been America's proud of. Why are you talking about this? We're not talking about Trump. Okay, stop. So anyway, so yeah, as I said, so just keep in mind that you can, even though people bitch about gas prices being too high, you can still make money on gas prices being high. You can make money on it. Okay, because it's just basic supply and demand, right? The supply goes down because of bombing them, because they're on fire. Okay, supply goes down, price goes up. You make money, right? It's pretty much a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. All right, so keep that in mind. The oil stocks, always a good one. Your robe is too bland and dull. That's nice. I don't care. Then don't look at it. Anyway, it's Mark. He just likes to get on here and troll because he's got nothing better to do on a Sunday afternoon. Anyway, so and then obviously the Global X Defense ETF is also a pretty good one, and you know they get into a lot of different like defense contractors and whatnot. BlackRock being one of them, which is obviously a big one. Those are the ones you're gonna want to pay attention to because, as I said, you know, even though war is terrible and I don't want us to get into another war, I certainly don't want us to be a part of one. It is what it is. Even if we don't put boots on the ground, which I don't know that we ever will that we ever would put boots on the ground anymore for a foreign war like that. I certainly hope not. But we will definitely be supplying stuff. You know, our defense contractors in America are definitely going to be making some money off of this conflict between Israel and Iran. I bet you they probably already are. You know, so it is what it is. So, Bro, very consistently growing. Is that it's a stock called Bro? I don't think I've heard of Bro. Let's see. We'll look up Bro here real quick. We'll take a break from this nonsense and we'll look up Bro. BRO. Is that an actual stock? It is not a stock. Dutch Bros is though. And you know, Dutch Bros is one of those ones that have been consistently growing 79% over the past year, which is pretty damn good. Insurance? Oh, well, it's not. The ticker is not Bro, BRO, because it's not in here. So that robe is too big for you. No, it actually fits me really well. Actually, I've lost quite a bit of weight too, and this this robe here fits me perfectly now. So, but thanks for asking or looking or commenting or whatever. As far as earnings go this week, SEALSQ, which is one of the ones that we've talked about on here many times. We've talked about on here. SEALSQ was, I've day traded it, I made money at it, whatever, I've done well at it. But they're going to have earnings this week. So Haleon, there's going to be CarMax, Kroger, Lennar from the home builder Lennar, the biggest home builder Lennar. So that's on Monday. I mean, if you just look around where I live, I don't know about where you live, but where I live, it's insane as far as the housing that's going up right now. There's a shit ton of housing going up. So, and Lennar is behind a lot of it too. So I'm saying Lennar will probably have, I'd say probably pretty successful earnings report on Monday. So and that's a good thing. I mean, that says people are buying because they're not going to be building at the rate that they're building around here anyway. If people weren't still buying. So people are still buying even though the interest rates are still too damn high, but people are still buying because it's just the way it is for right now. So anyway, that's really the only big report. I mean, SEALSQ will be good for us, those of us that have invested in it before. Retail sales, there's some import news, some import reports that are coming in, some initial jobless claims will be coming in this week. So just not a whole lot as far as reports and earnings. I don't know that there's any real big red flag ones coming up this week that are, you set your watch to it. I don't really see anything that big. So I think all eyes are going to be on Iran and Israel and what happens there. So as I said, if we're looking at the conflict that's going on over there, look at your defense, like BlackRock and some of these other defense contractors that will, they're going to get more money. So obviously there's going to be some renewed interest. If you're into those at all, or if you've thought about getting into those at all, not a bad idea to revisit that, because I think this week you're going to see a significant jump in some of those defense contractors as far as the stocks go. People eating those up because they're going to see, at least in the short term. I don't know how long this is going to go on. We'll see. I mean, hopefully, I don't want this war to go on. I don't want to destroy another city. I mean, there's, even with the Iron Dome that Israel has, there's still bombs that are making it to the ground. There's still missiles that are hitting buildings and killing people for, no reason. But there hasn't been a reason. I mean, the reason is religious conflict, and it's been going on for 1,000 years. And nobody, not Trump, not anybody, is ever going to stop these people. Okay, they've been fighting for hundreds of years, and they will continue to fight. When you have religious hatred, nobody's going to get over it. Especially somebody like Trump, who's not religious and doesn't. I don't even know if he believes in God, but he's not a Christian. He doesn't care about that stuff. He just keeps babbling about making a deal. We need to make a deal. You can't just make deals. I mean, you can't. The bribery and stuff that he takes part in right now isn't going to get you anywhere over there. Okay, the people don't care about your money. They really don't. It's when you have religious hatred, it doesn't respond to money the same way other conflicts do. So anyway, I don't think that Trump's going to be able to make any kind of a deal with it. I don't know. I mean, as I said, I think this might be because this has been building for so long. I honestly think, in my opinion, this is going to be a long conflict, unfortunately. So some of our stocks this next week are going to probably come down because of that, just because of that. As I always talk about, one thing the market hates is instability, right? So there's going to be some instability this week, and that's because of this war. Because right now nobody knows for a fact that it's going to be long-standing. I'm just saying I think it is, just because I know it's been coming for a long time. Okay, the Houthi rebels have been attacking Israel for a long time, and they've been and they're backed. I mean, the Houthi rebels are just an arm of the Iranian military, so they're tied in. So they're going to go in there and they're going to try to eradicate the Houthis, just like they tried to eradicate in Gaza the Hamas, which hasn't worked yet either. All they did was destroy an entire city and kill a shit ton of people. But as I said, it's not going to stop. These people are fighting for what they feel deep down is their religious convictions and beliefs, and that's not going to stop. So some of these defense contractors, I think, especially if you can get some of these that are a little bit lower priced and you hang on to them for a bit, you're probably going to make some money, I would think. I'm thinking you're probably sitting pretty there. I'm going to start a flash goal. So hit follow too if you haven't hit follow or anything. I'm hitting a flash goal, see if I can get 3 gifts. So if anybody wants to send me a gift, there's 55 people on here right now. If I can get a couple of you to send me a gift for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know what the hell I do with it, but it is what it is. It looks like it's a little pink teddy bear, which I don't know. I guess if you send me a pink teddy bear, then maybe I'll snuggle with it next time I'm on here. I don't know. I'm not much of a pink teddy bear guy, but if you send me one, that would be nice. And if you also hit the follow button. Anyway, are you guys looking at anything? They've been fighting for 10,000 years. Yeah, exactly. As I said, that's why I said, I mean, you got people that think that they can do something about it. No. Okay. The first Trump administration, he sent, America's favorite paperweight, Jared Kushner, to ease Middle East tensions. That never happened either, because he's an idiot and he had no idea what he was doing. So, now he's got these other clowns that are just his sycophants that are going to go over there and try to do something, and this is not going to happen. Okay, there's an impasse that they're not going to be able to get by. There's an impasse that Israel and Iran are just not going to be able to agree on. So back it up backwoods, Bobby. Let me see what you're working with, big boy. I have no idea what you're talking about there, Gordon Von whatever Go, or Gordon Van Go. Got it. Von Go or Van Go. Got it. Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about. I understand it's religious war. Life, it's not their thing. Yeah, I know. And that's the thing, people over here, we don't deal with these kinds of things. We don't have missiles dropping in our neighborhoods. Okay, not that it's not possible. Anything's possible, but I would hope not. I would really hope not. I think Palestine should be free. Yeah, Palestine should be free. And it's sad what's happened to the Palestinian people. It really is. It's very sad. And but if you look at Sudan, you look at some of these other places in Africa, when they had regimes that took over, they had uprisings. They had citizens that banded together, created their own military, and overtook the government and had a coup. That's what should have happened from the Palestinian people when it comes to Hamas before this ever happened. That way, this might have been completely avoided altogether. That would have been, the better way to go, rather than destroying Gaza like they did. Anyway, so beside the point, are you guys looking at any stocks this week? What do you guys think? Anything that you're thinking of? As I said, my look this week, my outlook is, once again, defense contractors, because of the war that's starting, and I think it is going to continue. Defense contractors and the ETFs, I think, are definitely going to jump. And then then oil, definitely oil, big one. I put some money into oil here yesterday, or on Friday. when they first started talking about that they were bombing some of the oil fields. I'm like, oh boy, buy up some oil quick, and I did. And it went up after hours, and I think tomorrow morning, I think after hours tonight, pre-market, it'll probably jump too again. I'm hoping, or we'll see. But yeah, but I'm thinking that oil definitely is going to go up, and then price of gas is going to go up. But as I said, make some money on it. You have Lockheed Martin, Boeing. I don't know. I think you're probably going to see a drop in Boeing since they just had one of their airplanes fall out of the sky again. That's why I don't. As I said before, I stay away from the airplanes. I don't get into those stocks because they're just all you need is one airplane to fall out of the sky, or a door opens or whatever while they're at 30,000 feet, and then it takes a shit. So I don't get into the Boeings and that kind of stuff. It's just not my thing. So, but you certainly can. As I said, this is not advice. It's just telling you what I do. So is that so patch for you play with your boys? I don't know what that means. Anyway. All right, well, you guys have a happy Sunday, happy trading, and yeah, if I see anything good tomorrow morning, I will let you guys know. All right, you have a good day.